What happens when you're a full-time gig driver and you lose motivation to do your own job? Well, the first thing I would say is if you're cherry picking, you might make your money fairly quickly and you might not have to work the same workload that you did before, when you were in a worse financial situation. I don't have to grind the way I did in 2021 and 2022. So yeah, it kind of makes sense that I'm just not going to have the same amount of motivation. But if lack of motivation is a real problem for you, working in the gig economy, you have to remember that your motivation has to be internal. Like, you can watch motivational speakers like Tony Robbins, but there's, a few people on YouTube that are motivational speakers right now. And that's their job. And even Tony Robbins will admit that if your motivation is not internal, if it's coming from him jazzing you up with a speech about, going after it and all that, like, you're not going to be motivated for long. Your motivation has to be internal. Okay? And that's not something really that can be taught. So one of the things that I think can help you work consistently in the gig economy is having a sense of duty to help people, because ultimately that's what you're doing. And I know it's easy to think that our customers are hungover and they want a fucking greasy burger or whatever, on a Saturday morning or whatnot. I think it's easy to stereotype DoorDash customers as being lazy, but some of them really need the service. Especially when you do Instacart, you will run into customers that have health issues and they need the delivery in order to survive. I think you want to remember those people, and you want to remember that you're helping those people, because if the money is not going to be enough, especially if you have a really good week and you grind and you grind and you crush it, like the last couple days, last week of December and the first week of January, I ended 2024 strong and I started 2025 very strong, and I made good money. And then after that, I was just like, I don't want to deliver for a few days. And that's fine. I made my money for those 10 days between like Christmas and January 5th. A sense of duty to your customers is a good internal motivator. Also, knowing that the gig economy is your preferred way of making money. You're not just doing it for the money, it's your preferred way of making money. So yes, you could do a job, you could probably go to McDonald's, you could go to Walmart, you could get a 9-to-5, or you could get, go to the temp agencies and get a full-time job through them. It doesn't really matter. You prefer to not have a schedule, you prefer to not have a boss, you prefer to work on your own terms. And that is a good motivator for not being in the job market, the W-2 job market, and being in the gig economy. Another, good internal motivator is taking pride in your work even if others are judging you. So, in other words, detach from what other people think. Of course, there are going to be people like Tim Dillon and Matt Walsh that don't think very, very highly of DoorDash drivers, but you don't have to share their opinion. You can detach from what people think and do your job and know this is my preferred way of making money and I have a sense of duty to my customers. Okay? Being able to make your own schedule and work on your own terms and make money on demand is such a great thing. And I don't know why anyone would want to give it up. I do understand the benefits of having a schedule and having stability, but it's not for everyone. I think by 2030, people are just going to have to accept the fact that the gig economy is here to stay. Crypto hasn't gone away. It's here to stay. Like all these things that cropped up in the 2010s, They're here to stay. They're not going away. Nobody's getting rid of DoorDash anytime soon. It is a household name. People use it every day. Nothing is changing. So you can either decide, do you want to make money in the gig economy on your own terms, or do you want to do something else? It's up to you. But I have referral links in the description of videos. If you sign up for gig economy apps, you will get a sign-on bonus, plus you will have a source of income that you can tap into whenever you need to. And you help the channel because with a referral bonus, I can get a dedicated camera so I can videotape my dashes. Obviously, I'm very concerned about making sure that I protect privacy, so they're going to be heavily edited. But I think that eventually I will do some taping of my dashes so people can see where I am, what it entails, and they can get prepared mentally for what they're going to go through as a gig economy driver. So, with that, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.